everybody's back, let's get going again. Let's do, we're on number, application for licenses. It's under 13. They have 13.
Licensing request to table application 3262 and 3264.
You want to table or move to closed session? Just table?
Yes.
We're tabling that, okay? Application 3262, 3264 by Contreras Ultra Broadband.
We have eight applications by Contreras Ultra Broadband. All of these are fiber optic cable aerial crossings in various locations. And licensing recommends these for approval.
Okay, licensing recommends for approval. Do I hear anybody make a motion?
How many of them was it? From 52 to?
No, it's under 13.
It's 8 because we're
Eight?
requesting
8
to
instead of 10. We're tabling application 3262 and 3264.
All at the same time.
These are all typical aerial standard. Move to approve with recommendation for your application.
All right, Mike made the motion and Larry seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign, anybody opposed? Okay, very good.
We
Karen,
have
next one.
two applications by Ultimate Concrete, who are a contractor for the Border Patrol. They are requesting, they requested temporary construction licenses for ingress and egress to perform work on the border wall. They're going to be conducting repairs, and licensing recommends these for approval.
Okay, you said these are working for Border Patrol, as an example of somebody, third party working for Border
Yes,
Patrol.
they're contractors. Ultimate Concrete LLC are contractors.
Are these the part of the MOU that we were talking about?
No.
No, they're contracted under the same folks, but these guys are welding at the top of the fence. They're doing the majority of the work on the from the south side of the fence with boomers, boom trucks and whatnot.
I've seen it, they're doing it right now.
Yes, yes, so they need to run along the border from the Zaragoza Port of Entry all the way to the Bustamante treatment plant. They'll be in the north side. So this covers this license, but yes, we've licensed for them before in there.
And then part of the license, or I don't know if that's enforceable, but whatever they disturb, they will put back in its original condition or clean up the mess,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely, and then if there's any debris or whatnot, they're cleaning it, because they're welding, so if there's any debris, dried up weeds or whatnot, they're gonna clear all the vegetation, so there's no fire, so.
Okay. I move to approve its recommendations.
Second.
All right. Mike made the motion, George seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. All right, Sharon?
Just skip C and we'll come back.
We're gonna skip C and we're gonna move on to D.
Okay.
It's 3 applications by NCI Metro. They are aerial and underground fiber optic cable in various locations, and licensing recommends these for approval.
All right, we're talking about those 3 apps under MCI.
Yes.
I'll make the motion.
All right, Larry made the motion. Do I hear a second?
Aye. Or second?
Mike seconds it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. All right, those 3 are done. Sharon, go ahead.
He has 4 applications by Lower Valley Water District. These are 4 applications for sanitary sewer line and water line for a subdivision that was approved last month under the Valle Nuevo Unit 1. These are for residential, and licensing recommends these for approval.
Motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, Mike made the motion, George second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. All right, that was E.
And the next one is a dewatering license for Castle Water in the Upper Valley. And this was, it's for an emergency to conduct upgrades to sewer and water repairs.
Okay, now, okay, this one by itself, right?
Yes.
All right, do I hear a motion?
This one is, hasn't been used yet at all, right? This is in case of an emergency?
No,
Or
they
a
are-
need.
It's
They're in
operating right now.
emergency right now.
I think it was executed in August by y'all here, and it was in the drain, and they moved, they were discharged into an El Paso water channel that plugged up, so they relocated the discharge point. But the license for 6 months, so it essentially expired last month. But there was an ongoing dewatering license that was approved by the board in August.
Okay, it's a standard
It's a renewal.
dewatering,
It's a renewal.
nothing contaminated or anything like
No.
that. Move to approve this recommendation.
All right, Mike made the motion, Larry second, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. Okay, we've got one more by the city of El Paso, G.
City of El Paso, license 1300 is a master license for the street and street crossings, and we are requesting to add 2 crossings to that master license, which are
Rocinante.
Rocinante Road, across the Monte Amay Lateral Branch Branch A, and the South Side Road crossing, the South Side Feeder Lateral, and these are within city limits.
All right, we have a motion.
So moved.
All right, Larry made the motion, George second, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. You wanna go back to C, or do you want to move that to code?
Yeah, let's do, just do C, and then
Let's do C.
we're gonna request 14 and 15 be moved
Yeah.
forward.
Number C is an agreement for engineering and other work related to Union Pacific.
I don't remember how many years ago, quite a few years ago, 8 years ago, 14? Yeah, 14, yeah. I'm traveling.
Live and having fun.
We had done an agreement with Union Pacific to do about 12 crossings here in the Clinton area. You guys might remember that
Right,
project.
kind of,
Yeah.
Pretty successful project they paid for us. We fixed a lot of problems, got a lot of flow issues taken care of. So there's 2 more that they actually talked to us about doing back 14 years ago. They didn't do it, they want to do them now. It's on the Clinton Solid Trawl. It has to do with adjacent to the Mesa Drain here, between here and Fabens. They're pretty straightforward. One of them's almost identical to the ones we did before, where they're gonna have to, they'll do everything within their right of way. They'll put the pipe and all that, but they use a big steel pipe, 60-inch steel pipe, so do all that. And then what we do is, once they're done, you got 2 pipes sticking out, we go in and do the head walls, and they pay us to do the head wall. This contract is just what we had to do prior to that to get the engineering drawings to do all that work. So this isn't for the construction, this is for the design.
engineering, yeah.
Yeah, the engineering work, and so the way that we do that, it's reimbursable. This is language that attorneys approved. All I changed was which sites. I didn't change anything else that's been approved before by Union Pacific's lawyers and by our lawyers. You have to put aerial photos. So what we did before, Jay and I were both billable on it before. So of course he's general manager now. So, but I need his services, so he helps since he's a licensed engineer. So we bill out at a rate that covers his salary and my billable rate. And then a technician uses my technician that does all the GIS work. We don't have a person that does the CAD stuff here. And then Sharon's work and David's. We do some field survey and stuff, so we all bill those out at a rate that are significantly higher than their expense, but that's gotta cover their truck and everything, so.
Sure.
It's not very much, we don't expect a huge amount. This one's limited to, total billable is not, cannot exceed $50,000. The last one was bigger, this one's smaller. So, pretty straightforward, we're real careful, we'll order and Mary, make sure we don't, that you guys don't see any cost.
Right.
And if anything, it'll be a little bit,
Rough.
yeah.
Okay.
So if that's all right, it's all labor.
Understand?
Everybody
Get a
have
motion?
questions on the 2 sites? I can show you the sites if you want to see the sites.
Yeah, I want to see the sites.
If I can find the right mouse.
Alright.
Where's the mouse? There it is. I have to turn the lights down. Okay, this one, I think is into the solid trowel, right, Jay?
That's a Clint extension, yeah, right.
So, so this has a lot, this site's no longer used by us. This was a wasteway, actually it was a transfer point. It's got a complicated history that it was used. It's no longer used to transfer back to what is really a farmer's decision.
That's a Clint lateral, yeah.
That's here in Clinton.
That's right behind Kevin Ivy's.
Oh, Kevin Ivy's farm?
Yes, on
Yeah.
Alveda before,
And because the system was re-engineered many years ago, Robert here, nobody's here, Robert's the expert on that because it was done back when he was with reclamation. This part of it, this little piece right here and this going across the direction I use. So they're gonna fill that with concrete and once we get out, they're gonna demolish all this out with inside their right of way. It's about where my hand is. And then they'll probably demolish all of this. And then right now the water goes from here into here and then back into here.
Wow.
So you can understand this was a retrofit when they reconfigured the Clint lateral to make this unnecessary.
so it was a Clint lateral, and then there was they call that the extension, and it spurs off upstream, and then it just crosses the tracks, feeds those acres, and then comes back down to the Clint lateral, yeah.
Yeah, so we've redone all that, so we don't have to do that. Haven't used this for years. Don't need to use it. So what I want to do is put a pipeline that goes from here straight to there.
Yeah.
Instead of doing this dog leg thing, it'll go straight. We have to remove the head walls and do that. So we basically, in this one, we're gonna put in a pipeline, and it has to only deal with this one since Union Pacific's paying for it. I gotta have engineering to submit to their people to get them paid, but show what we're building. And so they're gonna pay us to do the engineering work too. So we'll get them a design here, and then the rest of this will be removed, demolished, and they may leave it for us to haul off, so they'll pay us to haul it off. And then this part, this is in their right of way, they'll do all the work in their right of way. They're gonna pump concrete into the bottom of it. We'll stay out of it. What they do in there is their business.
They just fill it up with concrete,
Yeah, that's what they said. They wanted to
so it's not gonna interrupt transportation on the
Yeah,
track.
so they're not gonna disturb it exactly.
And then the other one, which is up downstream.
Downstream, yeah.
Just tell me when to stop. I always miss it. We've gone too far, haven't we?
It's right next to it. It's actually, I'm sorry, it's upstream.
It's upstream, yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, yeah.
That's where it spurs off, yeah.
Yeah, this one is, you can tell it's so this one, the water comes out of the Clint and it goes to the spur, into here, feeds it. And then through a siphon, inverted siphon, and under this thing and then back. And then over here, I think, and there's a check right here to make that all happen. So this is sort of weird. This turnout is actually feeding another lateral, this lateral over here. So we're gonna get rid of all of this here. Can you see how much that's in there right away?
Sure.
It's a safety hazard for us. So I think they totally agreed that all this is gonna be abandoned and plugged. And then we're gonna come down here and we haven't finished the design, so this is what the design is. Preliminary, we're talking to P and Robert, we're probably gonna move this check downstream a little bit. And then we're gonna try to do a skewed, we're trying to do a straight across shot, right?
Yeah, straight across.
We wanted to get on the other side of this crossing so we didn't have to run the water. We wanna get rid of this. All this is in there right away, right here. So we wanna get out. We just wanna get out of it. So we're gonna try to get to this side of that bridge crossing from the canal with a straight shot. And then fix everything that we need to fix, like the check and possibly this bridge. We'll have to remove the culvert. Just make it, we'll fill all this in with dirt here. So you won't need the bridge.
And they're paying for all of that?
They're paying for all of it.
And you gotta go under the railroad tracks.
Yeah, we gotta go under there, so we've done 12 of those we did, right?
Yes.
And, so what they do, they had this idea, we bore underneath the track, we said, no, do not try to bore under that track. you'll have the middle of a board going, but a train comes across and it'll collapse. Surprised they even suggested that, we were like, boy, that's a hard board. And we got gravel out of there too, and all sorts of stuff, so we have to do one. So what we did before, we did all of them this way, is they come in, they get a 6-hour outage, is what they did.
8 hours for
outage. And they pull the track, they excavate, they put the pipe in, they cover it up, and they put the track back on.
They cut the track.
With
So
2
they're-
in 6 hours.
They're doing that.
Cut it?
Yeah, we're not gonna do anything in the
They're
right of way
fine.
anyplace. Because we don't have, we can't do it. In fact, we're gonna prohibit our guys from even stepping into their right of way, because of liability issues. So they'll do that, and then we'll have this pipe will be sticking out on both sides. And that's why that's another reason why we're moving down, where we can go straight, almost perpendicular to the track. It helps a lot, so we don't have a big skew.
It's a straight
So we
excavation.
just take out one piece of track, make the excavation as small as possible. I think they use a 2-sack slurry to fill it back up, right, didn't they?
To fill it back up? No, they did the dirt, because they couldn't wait for it to dry.
Oh, they couldn't wait for it to dry, so they compacted it on.
Back it back up, and then, set the track. They drill the track, they drill 4 holes on the track, on one side, and they cut it in the middle. When they come back and place it, they place a steel plate and bolt in the 2 pieces together, weld it, yeah,
It's
it's
a slip
pretty
out.
impressive.
They do it everywhere in the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah,
Why do you
so-
have to move the check though? Because it looks like that could be a straight line.
We try to get past that bridge
I'm
downstairs.
trying to get past, see, this is all their right of way to right about here, so I'm trying to get past it into the canal, so that can all be filled in, so that means we have to move the check to about here. We have to have a check, that's how we
Yeah.
get water to the
Yeah,
canal.
but that one doesn't have much concrete around it, does it?
That whole channel's concrete.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But, it's a good project, it's good for us,
Okay.
good for them,
Good for them.
very good that they pay for it.
Yeah, I like that.
So the process is, you design it, they follow your design, Al, and then they construct it 100%, we don't touch it?
No, so let me back up, I think I said to you, so all work done in their right of way is done by them. All work done in our right of way is done by us, in our property. So they don't have to, there's ingress and egress they'll need from us, but that's temporary construction.
We designed the head walls and the wing wall.
Well, yeah, let me get to that. So all we're gonna tell them is the size of the pipe, which is probably 6 feet. We already know that. And the grade, the elevation, the invert elevation. And they gotta approve that. If it's too shallow, we'll have to invert it. We'll accommodate, that whatever they do, it's gonna be one piece of pipe and it's gonna be laid on grade. So if it has to go down a little, then we'll adjust our inlets and outlets to invert it at the inlets and outlets. I don't think they will, we didn't have to invert any of them, right? Yeah. So I don't think we'll have to invert. And then, for them to pay us for all of the work we're gonna do, I gotta have drawings showing what we're gonna do. And so we'll design all that, and get them drawings, and then they'll review it and see, and because they need to see what we're building, as you know, so to see if it's the right cost, and then they'll pay us. And they paid us, they thought our prices were reasonable. So we didn't have any dispute on the second phase, which we're not doing right now. The second phase is, it's all designed, then I do a cost estimate of this one. Now you want us to build this, you need to write us a check for X amount. And,
So it's pretty clean, it's defined.
it's clean.
Where their part is, our part is.
They do their own structural, you know, for that.
Yeah, they'll pay up front, or they'll pay after we do the work on our right of way. On our right of way, do they pay before, after they do your drawings, or they
We'll
pay
just have to
after?
look, I haven't looked at that
They
contract.
did.
My record is like they pay his part.
They did pay for the design initially.
Yeah, that they pay.
After
The reimbursement.
They paid the construction.
And that'll be part of the agreement, obviously, before.
Yeah, there's 2 agreements. I'm just bringing one to you today, which is to design. There may never be a second agreement. They may say they decide not to do it. I don't know. I think that when we do the second one, we'll try to follow our first, the way we did the last time with them, because their lawyers already approved that, and our lawyers approved it. But my recollection was, well, I just have to say, I know this is a reimbursement base, we have to do the work, we bill them, just like always, they had every issue pay, and that's
Design, yeah.
on the other one, I think they might have paid for part of it in advance, I don't remember, did they?
We provided an invoice after we constructed it.
So it was a reimbursement.
It was afterwards, on the head walls
So-
and whatnot.
Reimbursement ones are a lot easier to do, that way they're not.
We're,
There was some-
it's from the loop 275 to Favens, they're putting a new track, 25-foot
Right.
offset north of this, so we did the 14 culverts. And these, they stopped because of the mesa drain, and they're actually avoiding the mesa drain still, because that's gonna be a major millions of dollars because of the water and the dewatering and the bypass of the drain. So they're knocking these two out. They bypassed the mesa drain, so the track obviously is not gonna extend there, because it needs to span the mesa drain, but again, we need to bypass the drain, dewater, and that's gonna cost a good, I don't know, $5-8 million on their end to do that, so
That's on them.
yeah.
You mentioned the attorneys, at some point, the attorneys have to review before we go into construction.
This language, we didn't change any of
We're
this
using-
language, it's already been reviewed.
Who's gonna give it, that's,
Phil's the one that handles all real estate.
Phil, you'll be handling the final review, make sure, okay? Gotcha.
It would be the same language from previously, so, but yeah, I'll do rewrite it.
Just get a current review.
How often do we deal with railroads? I mean, we're doing much of that.
We hadn't since this project, really.
But it's always gonna
Oh,
be,
no, we got the one at the Franklin Heading,
Yeah.
which is an ongoing,
Oh, that one, yeah,
that's the, they put the perpetual negotiation, we're still,
yeah.
it varies, yours. I spent, 2 years ago, I spent a whole year dealing with them on another project, we got it fixed, Pete's not here, but it took me a year to get that one fixed. This one is sort of the opposite, it's when they come, that was something we wanted, right, fix our canal. So it took 2 years, I think actually 2 years to do it. This one, they want something from us, so this one goes real fast, they're just dying to get it done.
Mhm.
So, but they, one thing I can say about the railroad is they've been, every time we've dealt with them, they've been very straightforward with us, very professional, the engineers have their act together. When we do this stuff, the construction people have been pros, right? They rented our Clinton yard from us because they had a bunch of other construction, they may wanna rent property from us now, so there may be opportunity besides
It's the
this.
kinder, gentler railroad now?
When they want something
Every
from
time we
us.
ask them, they,
He's been good.
With us.
yeah,
We have special laws in our relationship
okay.
that
So I
I think helps them be kinder to us.
I'm glad we're going to a better.
They've always been very professional. They've never been.
They always said no.
Well, we have two groups. We have the design group and the real estate group that I work with, that Jay works with, and then Pete has the day-to-day maintenance group. I don't think Pete would have the same remarks I'm having.
We just got a new track manager for El Paso, so.
So we'll hope for the best.
Hopefully.
All right.
Mm.
That's good.
He's cleaning
So
up.
working with private industry is a lot less headaches.
Yeah. Well, they have their rules and everything because they're a big bureaucrat, but
It all changed, depends.
Yeah, as soon as my contact in real estate goes away, he's talking about retiring, that I'm ready to, okay, I'll have somebody else that we gotta train, but he's been with us for almost 20 years, we've been working with him, same guy, and it's been, he wouldn't always get what we want, but they've always been reasonable.
It's always Union Pacific, it's no other railroad that
It's
comes
never-
through
we
our
don't have
property.
any railroad.
There's Burlington Southern, BNSF.
They're not running any property on us, or?
No, they mainly work from Santa Fe and head towards New Mexico, they don't really.
Yeah, I think we're strictly Union Pacific.
And the Montoya, Artcraft, they got a yard there, I guess, Montoya.
Is that where it branches off?
But the yard's in Santa Fe, and then right there in Montoya, I guess, there's a rail.
Oh, there is, I didn't know
It's a track, but no, they head basically west and north, Santa Fe and California. But no, we haven't really dealt with them. Just received it.
It used to be called Texas Pacific.
Is that one BSI?
No, Union.
Oh, Union Pacific? Oh, Texas Railway?
Texas Pacific Railway.
All right. Everybody understand, kinda? Do I hear a motion?
Vote to approve
All right.
as recommendations.
Larry seconds, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, anyone opposed, same sign. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's see where we're at here.
I don't know.
Let's skip 14 right now.
Yeah.
15,
Well,
what do you wanna do in 15? Now, do you wanna go to close?
Yeah, I recommend 15 and 14 both be.
Both of them go to closed session?
Closed session.
All right. Well, with that, we're through. And since everybody had a break not too long, we'll give you a 5-minute break, all right? 5-minute break, we're gonna go into closed session. Now, this shows we're coming out of open session. Now, let's see, how do we do?
We're going into closed. Just
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. Okay.